Welcome back to the Dias Cast. As always, it's Justin, and this week we have a very special guest. We have Brendan, the Lord of Death.
Hello, I will not be playing Death today. You guys are going to think that I don't actually play Death.
I'm pretty sure you don't. I only ever see you play Chaos.
And you've really only seen me play my Slaves of Darkness,
yes,
so
for sure.
Not very on brand for me.
I'm going to call you the Vanguard from now on, because that's all I ever see you play.
Okay. I love them. They are fun.
Yeah, they look good. So, I'm kind of running the gauntlet of people that did well at Dragonfall. Now, did you take Best Chaos?
I did take Best Chaos. I finished tied for second, and on tiebreakers, I was behind on Battle Tactics and Grand Strategy, so I would have lost the tiebreaker and bumped to third.
Gotcha. So we had Best Order. Now we have Best Chaos. We'll have to find Best Destruction and Best Death wherever they're hiding.
Yeah, and then you got to get the Best General and overall. And
it's going to be a long series here, but
it's a very specific one too.
Very excited to have Brendan along. Brendan, do you want to walk us through your list today?
Sure. So what I'm going to be running here is a Slaves of Darkness, Host of the Everchosen list, which is Archaon's specific subfaction. The Vanguard are selected to be 6th Circle, which gives them +1 damage on the charge. The grand strategy that I've taken is Prize Sorcery. So in my list, I have Archaon. He is my general. That's how you get most of the buffs out of the list. Marked Khorne. So that is rerolling hit rolls of 1 and +1 to wound, wholly within 18 inches of him. He has taken Binding Damnation, which is the Fight's Last spell. I have a Chaos Lord on foot, who is marked Khorne, and then given the Arcane Tome to bypass all sorts of wizard shenanigans. He takes the Mask of Darkness, which is the teleport spell. I have the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. The Chaos Sorcerer Lord has also Mask of Darkness, but the Chaos Sorcerer Lord is marked Tzeentch. Can't get past that one. Then I've got 2 units of 3 Vanguard with the Demon Weapons for on 6s to hit are Immortal Wound and the D3 damage on the other side of it. Then I've got a unit of Marauders, 20 of them, and then 2 units of 9 Untamed Beasts, all in the Battle Regiment to be a 1-drop army.
Alright, so this week I'm bringing Big Waaagh once again. I've been enjoying getting all my war clans into one army. I'm doing Beastmaster. I was kind of split on my grand strategies because I had a couple beasts, I had a couple wizards, so I just ended up going with my tankier units. So the corpse, the killer boss on Corpse Rip of Ultra will be my general. His command trait is Egomaniac, so he'll be passing off wounds. And his mount trait is Fasten, which allows him once a game to make a normal move in the hero phase. I then have my Mega Boss on Maw Crusher. He will be bringing the Amulet of Destiny, as well as the mount trait Smellian. I have 2 War Chantas, one with Fix and Beat, one with Go Get 'em Beat. I have Swamp Caller. He has Choking Miss, which is the -1 attack spell. And then I have my trusty Warguard Prophet with Glowing Tattoos and Gorkamorka's Warcry. I'm filling out the list. My battle line is 1 unit of Gut Rippas, 10 of them with the Spears. I then have 2 unit of 5 Ardboys, 2 units of Pigs. They're going to be doing some work. Hopefully I'll run all over the board. And then last but definitely not least, I have 10 Arrow Boys. They fit in perfectly at 145 points, and maybe they do a couple wounds, and they have that 6-up save. So I'm interested to see. I definitely have my work cut out for me tonight. It's going to be playing keep away from the big bad guy, so we'll see how I can do. Brendan, you ready to do this?
Yeah, man, let's do it.
Let's have some fun. All right, thanks, guys. If you like using your ears and not your eyes, I have a great podcast to recommend for you all. It's Cubic Shenanigans. How many episodes are you guys on now?
I think we're recording 85 here very shortly. I'm sure I'll be I'll be wrong at some point, but you could be listening in the future. We could be at like 100 already. So
yeah,
unknown.
Great podcast. Does in-depth book reviews after every book is released. We have a Dragonfall Best Chaos that's going to talk about his performance recently, so definitely check out that episode. And
this was the Army, so you can kind of see how I approach the functionality if you're more of a visual learner. And this is where I'll jump in. We aim to be a teaching podcast. Dan is a former educator. I'm from a family of educators. Our orientation towards things is, usually towards the why. We don't normally just read battle tomes and go unit good, points are good, etc., etc. We like to explain why units are good, how they work together. If something isn't, worth considering, we put the why to it, but we also try and orient you to how you can make those things work to the best of their ability.
Absolutely.
The host Dan is kind of your middle of the road for fun Warhammer player who likes to win, and I am your very competitive ends orientation player who very much likes to win.
So today we're actually playing a battle plan from the core rulebook, which we have not done yet. This one's called Rising Power, and it's a bit like shifting objectives. So basically you have 3 objectives in the middle. There's a 18-inch no man's zone between deployment, and then there's extra objectives in each of your territories, which is kind of throwing us off. And then scoring is as usual, but the one big thing with this one is after priority is decided, the other person rolls a dice to determine which of the objectives is worth 2 objectives. We decided to make the middle 3 objectives primes, so they will not be removed in the third turn or the third battle round, but the ones in each of our deployment zones will be able to be removed. So it should be interesting. Scoring otherwise is typical. So yeah, we'll have some fun with this one.
Okay. So we're being narrative gamers here. We're meshing the two. Just what everyone expected from me, right? What I've done here from a deployment perspective is I have set myself up in a relatively neutral fashion, where when I see, what we're going to get out of the Big Waaagh list, that'll decide if I need to be aggressive or defensive in my deployments. If I see a aggressive deployment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to space out my Untamed Beasts. If I see a defensive deployment, I will just kind of give space on the Untamed Beasts and then use that as tagging objectives, which is going to force the orcs to come up the table, which is exactly what I want to be able to attack with my 3 very hard-hitting units in Archaon and the 2 units of Varangard. The Marauders here are just kind of a little bit of extra juice. Hopefully they're going to be able to pick on something weak on the side, but the Untamed Beasts past that are just there to die. Archaon's 14-inch movement is going to be able to get him kind of wherever he needs to go, and that'll solve probably most of my problems, hopefully, over the course of the game.
I deployed in a relative castle. My overall is keep the big guys away from Archaon, however that is possible. I did leave some mobile units in a position where I'm hoping that if need be, they can get out there and start harassing Brendan. Other than that, it's just me putting stuff in front and hoping that I can counter and just, with my movement, make it a frustrating game for Brendan.
So, viewers, I see a relatively defensive deployment, so what we're going to do is we're just going to move up. We are going to create pacing and spacing issues for the Orc army, and maybe start to threaten some objectives that will require my opponents here to move onto the objectives, because now I control 2 of them. Okay. You were going first, sir. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
1.
Good. Good luck.
Yeah, you too.
So in my hero phase, I am going to first, since it's my turn, I will choose how to do it. I'm going to roll for my Waaagh points. because my general is on the table, d6 for 3.
Not bad.
I then get 2 for my War Chanta and 1 for my wizard that is a
So that gets
Bone
you
Splitters.
Gets
So
you
I
up to
was
6.
6.
Okay.
6 is not qualified for anything though.
Okay. Yeah, 8's where it starts, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
My battle plan is going to be Ferocious Advance.
Okay.
I'm going to choose my 2 monsters.
Okay.
And my
your
God
shaman.
Prophet.
You got it.
And then for my ability, I am going to, or my heroic action, I'm going to try to roll for an extra command point with my Mega Boss. I'll get it.
Great. Extra command point for Archeon. Nope.
I'm going to attempt to roll Metamorphosis with my Wargog Prophet. I believe that goes off on a 5. I'm going to roll it.
8.
8, I will definitely get it.
Check distance. In. Archeon will attempt to unbind that with one of his unbind attempts. Got a 7, so you get it.
Okay. I'm then going to attempt to cast Mystic Shield with my Wargog Prophet. I'm going to get on to 10.
Is that your only casting attempt left?
I could take one with my
With the Swamp Collar.
Swamp Collar.
Okay. I'll take Archeon's second unbind. Nope. 8.
I'm going to put that on this unit of pigs.
Okay.
I am then going to Violent Fury from my left hand War Chanta onto this unit of pigs.
Okay.
And I'm going to Violent Fury from this unit onto my right hand unit of pigs.
Okay.
I'm going to use my 1 command point that I rolled from my Mega Boss to Mighty Destroyers, my left hand unit of pigs.
Okay.
It will move 9. The Swamp Collar is going to use his elixir or his poison and give it to my unit of Gut Rippers.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, right? Never thought that was going to come. I believe that is essentially all I have to do in my hero phase.
So you don't want to do the Mighty Destroyers multiple times?
No. I'm just moving that unit right now.
Right, so even though he issues it the one time, it's for free for up to 3 Iron Jaws units.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the movement. So I stayed very conservative. I'm not going to kind of break my castle until I see a reason to. I did run the pigs up to grab the objective on that side so I could max out my points. Also, I'm kind of moving the pigs on the right-hand side around just to threaten Brendan's flank over there. But really, I'm just kind of trying to stay in the castle to protect the big guys until I know what Brendan's going to commit to doing. So I'm going to get 3 points because 3 monsters did the battle tactic.
Yep.
I'm going to get 1 point for controlling objective, another point for controlling 2 objectives, and another point for controlling more objectives than my opponent, so I will end up with 6.
Okay. Very fun. Alright, so over to me. I have a few start of the hero phase things that have to be handed out, so we're going to start with tipping up to 5 command points on my side, 3 to you. I'm going to spend 1 right away for some Heidi dice. So the way this ability works is if you're playing Host of the Everchosen Archeons on the table, at the start of the hero phase, you can spend a command point to roll a dice. When you do, you roll the dice in a way where your opponent is not able to see it. Obviously, we're trying to do this on camera, so there's got to be some middle ground. Justin has left the room, so we're going to be rolling a dice here. On a 1 through a 3, he's going to be required to take the top of 2 here. On a 4, 5, or 6, I will be required to take the top of 2. So there's your results. We're going to take it off screen a little bit and hide it.
I think we got enough proof of it.
Then here we're going to do battle tactic selection. I'm going to do aggressive expansion. Pick 2 objective markers on the battlefield that are not wholly within your territory. You complete it if you control both at the end of this turn. These 2.
Sure.
I think I've got them. So then, I don't know. Extra command point to Archeon. Cool.
I'm going to roll for an extra command point on the Mega Boss once again. Nope.
Okay. Moving over to the regular bit of the hero phase. We are going to hand out the reroll ones to hit and wound over here. We are going to hand out Oracular Visions here. So that's +1 save to Archeon post FAQ. We are going to cast with the Sorcerer her base spell, which is reroll hits and wounds on a 9. Yeah, you're in.
I'm going to try to unbind with my Regret Prophet.
Okay.
Nope, you're good.
That goes to Archeon. I only play with the finest pro-painted studio tokens. Shameless plugs. We're going to cast Mystic Shield from the Sorcerer Lord on a 10.
How many casts do you have? One with Archeon or
2
with Archeon? Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. We'll cast Arcane Bolt with Archeon on a 10. And
yeah.
My dice are feeling the
okay.
casting here tonight. Okay. And I'm out of range of all of my other spells here, so
sure.
That's it for casting. So that resolves my hero phase. Time to move. What I've done here is tried to assure myself control of this objective by tagging it with Archeon at a minimum. I'm obviously going to try and land some charges here to attempt to hopefully remove a unit of pigs, weakening the left side of the Big Waaagh. I obviously know who has the turn next, so that is hopefully what I've tried to do in whatever the next setup is going to be here. So that's going to be it. We're going to move into the shooting phase. Ha ha ha. My 2 shooting profiles ran, so they're not going to be doing it, so we're going to go into charges here. So it's 7 to you, and then +2 for the going up, so we need a 9. With a 10.
These dice are hot.
This is the Indianapolis Wargamers Wargaming Club dice. Ooh. Yeah, let's see if Archeon can make it. We need to land a long one here.
It's a 9.
Alright, well, let's have it. You know what? These dice are doing good for me. We're going to keep them.
Do not change those.
There 2. So what I'll do then is I'll spend Archeon's free command point to take the reroll, a 5. So Archeon's out. Alright. That brings us to the end of the charge phase. We'd have monstrous actions. Don't have any of those. So here is the start of the combat phase. I'm not going to use the start of the combat phase ability that I have access to here. So, do you have any start of the combat phase abilities you need to use?
I'm going to use all of defense.
Okay. So then we're going to move into the regular combat phase step. Do you hand out any minuses to hit here? I believe the answer is no, but I want to be sure.
No minuses.
Okay. So then what we are going to do is we're just going to roll right into combat. I'm going to start with the Vanguard's first pile in. Okay. So what this is I have 3 guys that will be within an inch. They are 3 attacks apiece. They are base 3s by 3s. They get +1 to hit for Archeon being alive and on the table, bringing them to 2s. They get +1 to wound because they are wholly within 18 inches of the general, who is marked Khorne-Marked. They are re-rolling hit rolls and wound rolls of 1 from the Host of the Everchosen ability that I've handed out here. So 6 is the hit roll on our mortal wounds. So that is 2 mortal wounds so far. Alright, so 2 mortal wounds, 1 miss. So that is going to be 8 saves at rend 1, please.
So I'll be +1 because I have Mystic Shield and
So
my
back to
AoS
even.
defense.
Oh,
So I'll be saving on 3 ups.
okay.
So it'll be all but 2.
So 2 get through. These are D3 +1.
Sure.
For a total of 3, 5. So 7 damage so far.
That is going to kill my general. Or my leader.
Okay. Then the horses attack. They are 4s and 2s. They do not get +1 to their hit roll because of Archeon, but they are still re-rolling 1s. 6s are not anything. Okay.
They roll 1s to wound as well.
Yes.
Okay.
That is from the Host of the Everchosen stuff. So that's 5 saves, please.
5 3 ups.
Oh, good.
Alright, so my pigs are going to swing back.
Yep. I will spend a point to all out defense here.
Sure. I'll get 2 in. I think their first profile will have, this will be 6 attacks. And they will be hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. 2 at -2.
-2, so I'm a 3-up save base, +1 from all out defense, brings me to a 4-up. Damage?
That's 2.
Okay.
And then 8, this will be hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s.
Wow. Oof.
Not great. And then 3s. 1 at no run.
2 up. Good. Alright, so Varangard once per battle can pile in and fight a second time. I will choose to do that here and now. Sure. So that'll be 3 guys again. 2s and 2s for the riders, you're rolling 1s, 6s are mortals. So that's 1 mortal, all hits. Roll 3 1s. Alright, 9 saves at -1, please.
This will be 9 3 ups. 3 get through.
Okay. 3d3 +1 each, so that is 4, 8, 10.
There's no.
Okay. So this ends the combat phase. Over to battle shock. None to be taken. Scoring. So I hold 1, I hold 2, I hold more. Completing my battle tactic, which puts me at 5.
I wanted to draw somewhat over to the left-hand side. Brendan's army with my pigs. I was hoping to kill at least one of Brendan's Vanguard. It didn't work out that way. I'm still in my castle. I'll be interested to know who has this turn.
So here and now, knowing what the turn is going to be, I hope I didn't bump it. All right, so 5, it means that I'm going to be taking the turn. So with that knowledge, my goal was to do just a kind of as much move up the field as possible, and in this instance with the pigs exposed, to do an exchange of models. I feel pretty good about the exchange. Now granted, Varangard are a little bit pricier than pigs, but that is a key fast element of your army, and that's going to be one of the things that keeps you in the game late. You only have what I consider to be 3 fast units remaining, so hopefully what I'm able to do is pin the rest of your army in, and then grind out and score for the rest of the game. So knowing I have top of 2. I think that's where we'd like to get started.
Sounds good. I'm gonna roll to see which one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Middle?
Middle.
Okay.
The middle objective will be worth 2 this round.
So, top of 2, you tip up to 3. I tip up to normally 2, but 3 because Archeon's on the board. Start of the hero phase things. This is where Archeon would probably heal with a head, but instead we're going to vomit on the hero boys. This is on a 3-up, D3 mortal wounds. Nope. Heroic actions, extra command point for Archeon. Nope.
I will try to get an extra command point with my general. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to do broken ranks on these hard boys here. Sure. So we're going to move over to the regular bit of the hero phase. We're going to spend the command points. We're going to give them fight when they die. We're going to hand out the reroll hits and wound rolls of 1 to that unit. Then we will go to casting. Or no, we're going to hand out oracular visions first. I know you're shocked. It's going to Archeon. Base spell on a 6. 10 for reroll hits and wounds.
Son of a gun. I'm going to try to unbind with the workout profit. No.
Ooh, close. Okay. Cast Lord is going to cast Mystic Shield on a 9.
So you have 2 left on Archeon.
I do have 2 left on Archeon.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. Arcane Bolt through Archeon on a 9.
I'll try to unbind with this one from.
Okay.
Nope.
That's what we like to see, right? Just a totally buffed up Archeon. Absolutely no room to give. Okay. Time to move. So that's it for movement. What we have is we still have them tagged at 12 with Mighty Destroyers, so they have to make a charge move if they'd like to try and engage with something, which is pretty inconvenient and inconsequential, which I'm a big fan of. The rest of it, the way though, is I'm just going to try and pile in and crunch as much stuff as mathematically and humanly possible to start putting the notion of scoring out of reach. And yeah, that's it. Okay, so we're going to come over to charges. This unit, or no, we're going to shoot first. This guy here, Harpoon Man.
Sure.
Big Steve. He's going to shoot your shooting unit.
Oh no.
4s to hit. No.
You need to reroll
This guy in range?
No, melee. No, it's only 8.
Okay.
Thus ends my shooting phase. Now charges. These Varangard are going to wait because Archeon's going first.
Yep. 2 ones again?
3. So that should do it. Alright, do you have a...
No, I'm not going to unleash on.
Oh, bummer. These Varangard are going to charge.
Sure.
With a 5. Fight when you die, Varangard.
That lasts to the end of the battle round or the end of the turn?
End of the battle round for a fight when you die. So that's a 9.5, so we need to show a 9. 7. I will spend my triumph here. Because I am 1945 for the reroll. Ooh, not enough. Okay. End of the charge phase. So which of your units are hunters?
I'm sorry. Hunters are them and them.
Okay. So then we will monstrous action. I'm going to step on your archers.
Sure.
I do. For 2.
6 ups. Nope. 1 dice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So start of the combat phase. What I'll do is I will measure to see if I'm in range to do this. Jesus. Yep, plenty. I'm going to spend the points from the Chaos Lord to have Archeon fight multiple times.
Sure.
But I am going to start with the Varangard. Okay, so I have 3 Varangard. We're just going to check hull within 18 inches. I believe my Carpenter's Eye is good enough here. Same deal as last time. 9 attacks, 2s and 2s, rerolling hits and wounds of 1 for the riders.
Hold on. I am going to spend all out defense on these gentlemen, and he'll put it on himself because it's free.
Okay. Alright, so 2s and 2s, rerolling 1s, 6s are mortals. So 4 mortal wounds for me, please.
Okay.
And then 9 saves at red 1.
So 9 saves. I am on a 4 up.
Okay.
These are 4s. Hot
Wow.
one, just 1, and then 2 mortal wounds. Oh, wait, yeah.
4 mortal wounds, and then a total of 4 damage, so 8.
So I have 1 shield right here, so I'm going to roll for his 2. 6s. No, he'll be dead. And I have another shield right here.
Okay.
Nope, he's dead.
Okay.
And then how many more?
So it's a total of 8. So you've got 4 there, so 4 to go. Okay, the horsies are 4s and 2s, rerolling hit and wounds of 1. Uh, 3, no rends.
3 3-ups.
2 damage.
Oh, right on the button.
Just as planned.
So there will be 2 gentlemen attacking into Archeon.
Okay.
It's 4 attacks, hitting on 4s. Wounding on 4s. There'll be 2.
Alright, 2 ups. I've got +2 to my save. Oh, look at that, I'm fine. So my Varangard, each War Scroll is allowed to pile in, for free the second time, once per battle. We'll choose to spend that point, spend that here. So 1 is going to be fighting the Gut Rippers, 2 are going to be fighting the Archers.
Sure, I'm going to spend another command point. I'll use the free one I got for the turn to put it on all defense on the Gut Rippers.
Okay. So we'll start with the Gut Rippers here. These are 2s and 2s. There are no rerolls anymore because that was unit specific.
So because of my unique ability on my War Scroll, I can spend a command ability that's already been spent, but I can't spend it twice from the Vulture Boy.
Okay. So you got off lucky. It's 1 mortal wound and 2 misses on the Gut Rippers. And then 1 at -1, please.
I thought the Khorne aura was reroll once.
It is hit rolls of 1. You're right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So. Sorry. 2 mortal wounds. Okay. So 2 saves at red 1. Thank you.
So these will be 4-ups. Need 1 this one.
Okay. So D3 + 1 for a total of 3. So we're at 5 so far. Murder ponies.
5 total wounds.
Yes. Okay. 4s and 2s, rerolling 1s to hit. Thank you. 1 hits. 1, no minuses.
This will be a 3 up. No, a 4 up, sorry. No.
2 damage. Okay, the 2 at the archers. These are 2s and 2s. You're rolling hit rolls of 1. Rolling 1s. I don't want it to be 1. So 1 mortal wound so far. And 3 at rend 1.
They have no saves.
So straight to damage.
Yep.
Okay. For a total of 4, 7, 10. So plus the 1 mortal wound, so 11 ward saves.
I made 2, so that'll be 9 damage.
Okay. Okay. Ponies. 4s and 2s. You're rolling hit rolls of 1. Okay. 4 hits. Sorry, 3 hits. Math is hard. 3. No rend.
3 6 ups.
2 damage.
4 damage?
2 damage total. 1 each. And this is
Oh,
against
okay.
the archers.
Gotcha. 6s.
Woo! Okay. So over to you.
I'll pile in.
Okay.
So it'll just be 1 gut rip going into the Everchosen. These will be 4s.
Nice.
And the 5 will do
A mortal
a
wound.
mortal wound.
Okay.
I don't think that goes through.
Alright, so just to confirm, Archeon is within 3 inches of the gut rippers. Right?
I gotta fix this pile a little bit.
Okay.
Otherwise, coherency's gonna be all right.
Okay, so Archeon's first pile-in then is going to be to fight the Archer boys. So everything to them. So Slayer of Kings is 2s and 2s. You're rolling everything at this point. 4 hits. You're rolling everything. 4 at rend 2.
They'll go right here.
12 damage total.
Yep.
Okay. Your activation.
Alright, I'm still gonna attack with the one gentleman.
Okay.
He will be 3 attacks, hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s. But just 1 hit, alright.
Alright, so 2 up. Good.
Yep.
Okay, Archeon second pile-in. Okay, so all of the 1-inch range attacks are going to go against them. All the 3-inch range attacks are going to go against them.
Sure.
So we'll start with all of the 1-inch range attacks at the Ard Boys. Slayer of Kings is one of these. This is 4 attacks, 2s and 2s. 4 hits. Rolling 1s. Well, it's rerun all. So 4 at rend 2, please.
Into the Argos.
Into the Ard Boys.
These are 6 ups.
12 damage total.
That's, so the first shield. No,
Nope.
second shield.
Nope. So the unit. Okay, so that forfeits the monstrous claws. Onto the 3-inch range weapons on the gut rippers. So this is the lashing tails. This is 2d6 attacks for 7. This is 4s and 2s, rerolling everything. Thank goodness. Alright, so 3 hits. 3 at no rend on the gut rippers.
This will be 3 4-ups.
Okay.
Need 1 damage.
1 each. So then the final profile is the 3 heads. These are 6 attacks at full health, 3s by 2s. We're rolling everything. 6 hits. Chaos Sorcerers are good, man. Good unit is good. 6 at Rend 1, please.
This will be 6. 5 ups. Maybe 1 damage.
2 each, so 10 total.
I'm gonna have my work cut off for me now.
So that steps us over to the Battle Shock phase. Nothing to Battle Shock. So the initial aim, as we talked about at the start of the top of the turn, within the plan of trying to set up the double turn, which we got with the Mighty Cup roll, was to remove as much of the Orc army as possible, and models score objectives, and objectives win you games. So right now, in terms of total models on the board, I don't start with very many. So having the model advantage here in 2 is a pretty big deal. I would surmise, knowing full well here that we've got 1 objective, more objective, 2 objectives, battle tactic for 5, putting me at 10. Now the pieces you have left are all of your good pieces. Sure. So that doesn't make it out of the question. But we've removed the things that are likely to kind of steal some stuff off of me in different spots. So
sure.
We'll hand it over to you to bottom of 2.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll for my Waaagh points first.
Okay.
I get D6 for my general being on the table. For 3 more, that'll take me to 9, and then I get another 3 for 2 for my gentleman. That is my War Chanta, and then another for my Warback Prophet. I am going to choose Broken Ranks. I'm going to pick these gentlemen.
Smart.
I'm also going to spend a command point to get more Waaagh points.
Okay.
If I roll above
The battle round?
Yeah. So I did, so I'll get another 2.
Okay, I'll get Archeon an extra command point. I do.
Okay. In my hero phase, I'm going to forego casting any spells with my gentleman Wargog Prophet, and we're going to start his game. He's going to target your Vanguard.
Boo, boo, boo!
At 3 up, you'll take D3 wounds. Yes,
Do?
D3 for 3.
Okay, brings me to 4 on this guy here.
We'll repeat. No.
D6 to you.
For 5, I'll roll 5 4-ups.
Oof.
Not great. Oh, that's hoping. So I'll take 4. And we'll keep going.
Yep.
For 2 more.
So that kills him.
Ugh. For 4, I need to save. He's at 4. I need to save 2. Saved all of them.
Oh, there you go.
D3.
For 2. Okay.
D3. For 2.
1 to go. Uh-oh. Oh, you've only rolled high on these.
I see 3. I can still go continue. We'll keep going.
5 to go.
Oop.
Yep.
For 3.
2 to go.
Yep. He's dead.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
That's the fun. That's the fun of it. I am going to use my once per game fasten
Okay.
with my gentleman right here. So I get a 14-inch move. He is going to put Violent Fury on this gentleman, and this guy's going to put it on him as long as he's fully within 15, which he is.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. He will pass up to give him
Super poison.
super poison. I don't have any spells to cast into movement.
So he moved here. I'm going to spend the free command points to redeploy. For a 6.
Sure. So I wanted to get start spreading out here. So still trying to play keep away from Archeon, and hopefully I'm really at this point playing for the double because I can't possibly afford to
Be undoubled.
yeah, be undoubled. If I get undoubled, we might as well call it. But I feel like if I get a double, I have a reasonable chance at
Killing a bunch of stuff.
killing a whole lot of stuff. So, yeah. So my move was to spread out, start threatening the kind of behind, just making stuff a pain for Brendan at this point.
Okay. So now, started the shooting, what I would like to do is I would like to burn my arcane bolt at 12 inches on your prophet, please.
4 up.
Ah!
He's not gonna die. He refuses. Alright, I'm gonna roll my charge for my piggies.
Okay.
They're +1, they'll get in on a 9.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll a charge over here.
Just see where you go, right?
Just, you know, if I get a big one, maybe I'd go on the back of those guys, but
9.
10.
Ooh.
So I rolled a 10. I am going to get into this charge. I completed a charge, so I actually get another
Another Waaagh point.
Waaagh point.
So first, end of the charge phase.
Yes, monstrous action. And you have no...
I am not hunters.
How will I get more damage? If I roar them or if I snap them?
Here's the thing: if you roar them, I can't issue fight twice. So
Isn't that already
so they fight when they die, right? But he still his command ability is at the start of the combat phase.
Oh, gotcha.
So if I can't use command abilities in the combat phase,
Alright, so I'll definitely roar.
okay.
I'll get it on a 3.
All right.
Into my attacks on 5s and 6s throughout his entire profile because he is juiced up with
Super poison.
So 4 attacks. I'm going to spend 1 for all of the attacks.
Okay.
These will be hitting on 2s.
Oh.
Jesus.
Oh.
Beak. I have 5 attacks. These will be hitting on 3s.
There you go. So that's 6 mortal wounds.
Oh yeah. Sorry, that's 6.
So, yes, those are 5s. That's 6 mortal wounds.
And then a 3.
Okay.
CS at -1.
All right. So 4 up. Okay. So good. So I take 6.
Yep. And then the 1 attack. This will hit on a 2. That will be mortal wounds. So D6 mortal wounds for 1.
Okay. So I take 7. So this is 3, 4 for 7. So I have 1 fights when he dies. 2s and 2s. Reroll and hit rolls of 1. Okay, 3 hits. 3 at rend 1, please.
This will be 3, I believe, 5 ups.
Okay.
I have no passive.
Woo! So just D3 straight for 3.
Yep.
Horses are 4s and 2s. Reroll and hit rolls of 1. 2 hits. 2 at no rend.
2 4-ups.
Good. Okay, so the Untamed Beasts have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys that are in. Watch out. They're a big deal. 5 attacks. We'll check our important bubbles here. Oh, not wholly within 18 inches. Bummer. So these are just 4s and 4s, no bonuses. Oh, terrible. Just so average. 2 at no rend.
This will be 2 forbs.
Oh, 11 damage. Look at that.
Alright, so this will be 10 attacks.
Bye, guys.
Coming back at you. These will be hitting on 3s.
Rend 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no reason to all out defense.
And wounding on 3s.
Woo!
Yeah, that's right there. That's 10.
10 damage?
Yeah.
Well, that's the unit. Look at that. Skirt.
And then you get to attack back.
I do get to fight back. Just pivot. Pivot. Okay. Alright, so this is 6 attacks, 2s and 2s. You're rolling hit rolls of 1. Okay, 1 mortal wound, please. Oh, bummer. 4 at rend 1.
Should be 4 or 5 ups. 2 damage.
D3. For a total of 2.
That's 6.
Okay. The horses, 4s and 2s, you're rolling 1s. Oh, those really wanted to be misses. 3 saves, no rend.
3 forbs.
1.
He's at 7. Not the worst.
Not the best.
So this was my turn to break out of my clump. I'm basically trying to stay as far away from Archeon as possible, but in all honesty, if I do not win the double here, I will be shaking hands because there's just nothing that will survive this next round of attacks. So, do you want to go into the priority roll? So, I will get 1 more Waaagh point, so I'll be at 14.
Okay.
And then I accomplished my broken ranks, not with a monster. I control this objective,
Mm-hmm.
and we said it was the middle one, right?
Yes, this is the middle one.
So I'll control 1 objective, I control 2, and I got my things, so that will be 4 total. So it should be tied at 10.
Mm-hmm.
And now the all-important priority roll.
I win ties.
Need a 6.
3. I'll take it.
I'm going to shake your
here.
hand. I cannot possibly win at this point. I needed a double turn here to have a chance of succeeding, which did not happen. So I'm going to extend the hand because Archeon will move and kill my Mega Boss.
Either the Mega Boss or the Gorgrunts. Those guys are going to hang out there. They're probably going to rip him down. I'll bring models over here to capture and score. He's going to go over there to start dueling to the death. And then my Marauders will make their late game play to go be Marauders and be very annoying.
If I would have got the priority, I would have tried to do as many mortal wounds as I could to these Vanguard. I would have moved my pigs back to assault the Marauders back there. I would have also shipped off him as far to the back as possible, and probably taken off. I would have tried to avoid spending command points to not give you the
Fight when I die.
Fight when I die. So ideally what would have happened, it would have been the Untamed Beast, Archeon, and the Chaos Lord against the rest of my army. Which I think it would have given me a shot, but...
It would have been close.
Yeah. That was a good game. I mean, honestly, I don't know that I could have maybe been more aggressive going up along the right-hand side.
So what I think you should have done is you should have, in your first turn after I gave it to you, gone as aggressively into my army as physically possible. Allowing me to fight on your side of the board at my pace is what really permitted me to push you into the ball, kill off all of the models, and now granted, again, like we talked about, everything that was left has a dangerous potential.
Yeah.
But as I look around to, how scoring works, I've got a clump of heroes I got to go get over there. I've got a halfway killed vulture, which I feel okay about. Archeon can come this way. One decent roll and he can take down a Maw Crusher. One decent pile and he can take out a unit of Gorgrunts. And then in later turns I just turn back around and get whatever's left.
Sure.
Chaos Lords on foot are no joke in combat either, so that's the...
Yeah, that 6 roll was huge because it prevented me from just charging
Isolating
him and knocking him off, because it would have brought me, I think, into combat with Archeon. I feel like if I get my turn, because the War God can roll the 1 for free, I get 2 chances of killing 1, right? And then I'm pretty set up to at least kill the last one. Again, I have to be careful not to spend command points, because it gets me in trouble with Fight When You Die. Can you issue that anyway or not?
I can issue that whenever you spend a command
Yeah,
point.
so...
With the exception being, obviously, the requirements around command points, right? The issued receive. So if you're burning through command points in one phase, and I've already issued something once through Archeon, then too bad, so sad.
Yeah. The reason I didn't unpack is I see what you're saying. I could have been more aggressive just moving up a little bit. Like, ideally, I did want to pull you into the Wargok Prophet, and it's hard to have the Prophet keep pace. Because that was like one way. Your stuff is so defensive, like your Vanguard, to normal non-mortal wound attacks. You're not scoring a lot of hits with them. So I did definitely want to pull you into the Wargok, and I knew that you had to come at me. Now, I wasn't really anticipating that you would shred all 4 units of my battle line, essentially. And maybe I should have moved outside, at least over here.
Taking a redeploy.
Taking a redeploy to get out here so that I could move back on a screen. And then not lost that unit, but... I mean, hindsight's 2020. Yeah, this army is not a light-hitting army, that's for sure. Vanguard and Archeon and the buffs that they have right now are just great. Like, Archeon's the absolute, probably best model in the game at this point in time.
He's certainly up there. You can make some case for some other ones, but for you get your points at 830. You're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, he's like a must avoid if you play any monsters. It's just like you never engage him.
Now, this list is not perfect. This list does have some flaws, right? You do have a limited model count. The core of the army is tied up into one 830 point model, a support hero, and then 2 units of 3 that come in at 280 points apiece. So, well over half of your points is what you need to be doing the work with.
Sure.
The rest of it is ancillary support options. So if you lose those pieces early, it becomes very, very difficult if you haven't made the appropriate exchanges first.
So heavy mortal wound shooting has to be the biggest weakness for this list.
I mean, yeah, that's my worst case scenario is mortal wounds at range, either through the hero phase or through the shooting phase. The combat phase isn't great, but it means that you're within 3 inches of me, and my odds of being able to engage are much improved.
And you fight twice so often that even though you've spent, like, your models are limited, the amount of actual combats you get out of them are just insane.
And so that can be kind of difficult to pull off, because that's largely tied to one hero who's a 5-inch move. So that's why you take Mask of Darkness on the multiples of these models. I was very lucky in being able to keep up with the things that I needed to keep up with, but typically what happens in some of these games is, as you saw, I'll cast the spell from the Sorcerer Lord to make Archeon extra terrifying. But then the next thing I do is I try and cast the teleport spell through that hero to put him closer to where I expect Archeon or the Vanguard to be in order to receive the Pion and Fight Twice buff. Then you go Mystic Shield on Archeon, and then from there it could be just storing an Arcane Bolt, or if you're in range of something that you want fighting last, trying to cast Binding Damnation.
Sure.
But yeah, that's largely how this army works. Archeon, one of the things that we weren't able to show off here was he pretty reliably heals 3d3 a turn. He makes himself Bravery 12, so he can never actually fail without any negative modifiers. The ability to heal at least 1 wound with heroic actions. the Khorne is an automatic D3 in my hero phase. So he's a 20 wound model that becomes way more than 20 wounds over the course of the game.
You have to be super specialized in what you put at him if you really actually want to kill him. I mean, there's just not a lot of units in the game that are going to be able to run him down.
Your best odds in many cases are mortal wounds, because so often I'm going to be at +2 to my save. One through Oracular Visions there, Mystic Shield the other way, All-Out Defense being another one, and then the rare case of Finest Hour. Once per battle, he's able to turn on -1 to hit with the eye, and that allows me to toss him into really dangerous situations where he's not fighting at his best, but I know I need to be in that exchange maybe a little bit ahead of schedule, or I'm potentially behind schedule and I need to get that corrected.
So you're building Cruel Boys. What's your build look like right now?
I've been really struggling. Because what I've found in
So you don't like Gut Rippers at all, or you just don't like them?
I don't like them in Big Waaagh. So I'll make that clarifying statement. I don't like them in Big Waaagh because in Big Waaagh specifically, you have what I believe to be more efficient and effective choices to do the same thing.
Yeah, but you're rolling out with either 5 brutes or which is essentially the same
10
point
Savage
cost.
Orcs.
10 Savage Orcs will suck.
Their job isn't to be good.
At 165, you're getting 20 wounds that can't do any damage, as opposed to 180 when you get 20 wounds that can do damage.
Sure. What I've been finding, like the Cruel Boy stuff, has really been a struggle for me because they are so unforgiving.
Yeah.
And my orientation to expected playstyle and how I've been trying to execute on it has just been too far apart for me to be as successful as I would like. I've been spending a lot of time on it and I'm getting better, but man, I feel like I'm always just off schedule with my decision making.
I found that the shooting is tough to utilize because you don't really want the 24-inch shots from the Bolt Boys because you want to be rolling weight of dice.
In many instances, you're going to be utilizing all attack in those, right? So I'd much rather have 19 attacks at 3s and 3s
And 7 attacks.
than 9 attacks at 3s and 3s.
But you really just want, the mortals are ultimately what you're going for because the rundown is only
correct,
one.
and you're going to be running it next to one of the swamp bosses. So 5s are 2 mortal wounds and 6s are 3.
What I find is that they're so fragile that they absolutely can't survive any shooting at them because they're 6-up saves and
Right.
they just wilt. So
That's why I typically end up covered in mud and hang out in cover, and I just go, cool, you can't shoot them
sure.
ever under any circumstance.
But I like Gut Rippers in 20s because
I do too.
they just end up, you can fight from the back row, and that weight of dice starts to get pretty crazy if you got the 5s and 6s and the Snatch Boss right behind them.
And the Cruel Boys Waaagh is great. It's just figuring out when to use it that ends up being the difficult part. Because there have been times where I've used it right, and it's ended the game. And there's times where I thought it was right, and I couldn't get enough in each of the spots, and it, cool, it did some stuff, but there's been times where I thought it was right, and whoa, was I wrong.
And that's exacerbated by the way Cruel Boys works because you are gonna. It's very high variance when you're leading on the mortal wounds.
Mm.
You're gonna have a lot more. Wow, this was a really good combat turn, or wow, this was a really poor combat turn.
Yeah, this did not go great.
Right. The Gut Rippers, when you fully buff them, it's mathematically better than mortal wounds on 4s, which is crazy.
Yeah. Archeon is just... When you've lost with them, it's just been people feeding them chaff, I'm assuming, and then having enough speed to kind of stay away from shit.
So I've only lost with this list once, and it was to Wind Foxes.
Which is insane. This list is vicious. I would say, if you want to go heavy sentinel shooting...
Archeon lists are top 10. I'm good with that. Archeon Slaves the Darkness, Host of the Everchosen? I disagree, right? That's the...
This is just making me nervous.
If you wanna make the argument for Archeon Tzeentch top 10, okay, I'll listen to that because he hands out the -1 to hit the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're able to fate dice whatever you want, whenever you want, and you have summoning throughout the remainder of the game.
But you don't have a secondary unit in that army that's nearly as good as
you don't need any individual things to be as good as Varangard, because you're going to split it out across the magic phase and the shooting to be able to do it at arm's reach and to buy you the time. And especially the way that the new Horror War Scroll works, where you don't have to worry about battle shock all the way through.
So what would you consider this list? I would say like the only thing I would be super scared about with this list is the list you lost to and like 40 to 60 Sentinels.
Yeah, so Lumineth in general, Caradron Overlords.
Sure.
I don't play Gotrek very well. Marathi and a bunch of Bow Snakes, not my favorite matchup. I can manage it, but Marathi can waste a lot of my time.
And you probably don't want to see like 120 zombies.
I can get through a lot of them, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They're not going to regen at the rate that they normally do because there's no units to feed them. Like, cool, you got 8 guys from my Untamed Beasts. Ooh.
Seraphon used to be bad against you, but it's not really anymore, is it? I mean, they used to be strong against you. Is what I mean to say. The Fangs is so techless.
Yeah, I don't fear Seraphon with this list as much as I used to. There's still good Seraphon lists, but I've not played the Sylvaneth matchup.
Sure.
And the not knowing is what scares me.
Mm-hmm.
They're the very hot Stormcast list right now. That is 6 Raptors and a bunch of Fulminators. I don't want to see because Fulminators are better Varangard, and Raptors are Raptors. Like that Stormcast list can pull off everything but Archeon that matters in the first turn.
Your heroes are dead, and
right, and then
a unit is dead.
And then it's just a matter of time before Archeon not being fully buffed is going to just be ripped down via mortal wounds and weight of dice.
That's what I would want to be playing against you, other than Foxes. That's
how good is Caradron really against you, though?
Solid.
I feel like
because I can't get my hands on him.
Okay, but I feel like they're not really shooting. They're not taking Archeon out.
They're not going to start there.
Yeah.
If you just like with that Stormcast list, if they take the support heroes and the Varangard first, and then you
aren't Varangard going to be pretty survivable against them?
If you charge in the Varangard, like if they get around to shooting into a unit of Varangard and then you have to charge them, that unit of Varangard's dead.
Okay. Yeah, I guess
it's
rough.
Probably. 15. The Varangard are pretty. They don't have a lot of wounds. You're gonna fail those 3-ups enough. I don't know.
Sure.
Over the course of the game, yes. A good and smart player is not going to invest a lot of time into trying to deal with Archeon because it's a waste of energy. Okay. You're going to do a couple of wounds, and I'm going to heal all of them back in my turn, and you have wasted all of the points you've spent on your army for that, for that battle round.
But you can leave them alone. I mean, you can have them sitting there without any help. And when you take away the Chaos Lord and the Chaos Sorcerer Lord, he can't throw throw anything meaningful in KO into the sword. I mean, you killed Chemist. So his damage doesn't get too scary when he's not fighting twice and rerolling everything.
Pig Heavy Iron Jaws is not a list I like seeing. You can outpace my damage with your whole army, which is unpleasant. Iron Jaws Blood Tooths, where you beat up my chaff, and then you charge into my stuff.
Yep.
So now the Varangard, you might still be in range of my Varangard, fine, but I'm not charging. I don't get the extra damage across all of it.
And 3 Rend does a lot of work against Archaon or Varangard or anything.
I mean, the Varangard especially.
Yeah.
It's a little bit tougher against Archaon, right?
Sure, because you can go to +3 or whatever.
I can go to +4 in the best of cases. It's dumb.
But Varangard melt at +3. Because, I mean, even with Mystic Shield and all-out defense, you've got them on a 4-up then.
Please make sure that you like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. It lets us know that we're doing a good job. And if you don't like what we're doing, leave us comments. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.